Last summer, we heard all about these two music teaching sisters, Anna and Sarah Wilby. They began to write full Tosca, TMS the opera, on Sarah's canal boat.
It's got to be worth a listen, isn't it?
It is. We played the opening chorus last year, but the lockdown period has allowed them to finish the whole thing, the whole opera, and they've even managed to record some of it virtually. Okay, so we'll talk to Anna and Sarah in a moment. First, here's the Agger's aria, Stalwart and True.
I am Agger's stalwart and true, leader of this resolute crew. My heart is pure, my tongue is light, to commentate is my delight. So answer me this, why are we all here? Is it just habit this time of the year? Good gracious, no, our blood is up. We're here to win the Cricket World Cup.
Welcome to Lords for the final match of the 2019 Cricket World Cup. England have snatched hope from the jaws of defeat to get this far, breaking their losing streak to beat India and then Australia in style.
All this now rests on one final test, New Zealand and the host. Come on, England!
Stalwart and true, leader of this resolute crew. His heart is young, his tongue is light, to commentate his delight.
Why are we all here? Is it just habit this time of the year? Good gracious, no, our blood is up. We're here to win the Cricket World Cup. We're here to win the Cricket World Cup.
That's the first time I've heard that. Anna and Sarah, hello. Hello, I know you're out there somewhere. Anna and Sarah, hello. I can't hear Anna and Sarah. I heard that. I heard the lovely music. We've lost them. Oh, after all of that, we'll try and get them back again. But anyway, that's the first time I've heard that. And they're back. Anna and Sarah, hello.
We're here.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I thought, what am I going to talk about for the
So
next
we're on
20
the Isle
minutes?
of Iona, so we're a long way away.
Really? What are you doing up there? You live there?
Well, we just do wild holidays.
Yeah.
There's canal boats, Isle of Iona. So, yeah,
Right,
so
so
we don't have a
you-
lot of signal, but good to speak to you.
Well, and it's lovely to hear from you. I mean, that's the first time I've heard that. Just remind us, can you, how this... who am I talking to at the moment, by the way? Is that Anna or Sarah?
It's Anna at the moment. Sarah's
Anna
also
at the
here.
moment. Okay, right, Anna. Just remind us how this craziness started.
Sarah.
I think we've got a problem getting through to the island of Iona, sadly, which is a great shame because I had all sorts of questions lined up. We'll see if we can get them back, shall we? We'll give it another go. But Isle of Iona, not sure where that is. If you pointed on a map, but we'll try and get them back in a second. So back to Anna and Sarah, and what I've done, Anna and Sarah, and I hope you're there now. I've actually, while Kevin was reporting it, I've looked up Iona and where it is, and it says a small island with a historic abbey. It does look a very small island indeed, sort of northwest of Glasgow, near the Isle of Mull. Well, I can picture you there. What a lovely spot. But right, who am I talking to? Am I talking to Anna?
Actually, you're talking to Sarah now.
There's something about this interval. Well, Sarah, it's lovely to talk to you. Maybe you'll have a bit more success in breaking through from Iona than Anna did.
Give it a go.
Go on, give it a go. Well, I can hear you clearly. Just remind us how this opera started. You're on your canal boat, weren't you?
We were, yeah. So I was actually on maternity leave. I had a baby, and we were trying to go somewhere where we could all be together and safe. And on the way down, we had heard the last hour. I think you'd had rain, so you'd played it again, the World Cup. And we just thought it just sounded like an opera. It had such poetry to it, and motion, and heroism, and drama. So we thought, that's absolutely inspiring stuff. And with the chorus in the background, really, this audience were just singing their hearts out.
They were.
It sort of wrote itself in many ways. So we had the mad idea, managed to get hold of some manuscript paper, and jotted down a few bits and pieces. And actually, it's just gone from there. It's been really, really good fun, and so many people have got involved.
Well, that's what's really nice about it. So, this is a full-length opera. I mean, how many you heard the aria there that you very kindly dedicated to me, as it were. But how many other songs are there in there?
I think there's probably about 10 separate movements. The idea was to try and introduce all the characters of TMS as well. Let's have some chorus numbers, and trying to make it as jolly and fun as it all is for everybody. Was a tap dance number, obviously, for the umpires. Kind of wrote itself, to be honest, as well. Statisticians blues, yeah,
yes.
Things like that. So, yeah, it's been really good fun. We've really enjoyed it. And obviously, with lockdown having happened, so many people desperate to get the cricket back going that we've kind of kept it going a little bit ourselves in our own little way. So we've
brilliant.
managed to complete it. But it is an opera in one act, so no one gets a chance to leave halfway through.
Right. Okay. Well, that's my next question really was. I mean, is there a story to this? Is there a narrative to this opera, or is it just some music that you've dedicated to various people who appear on TMS?
Well, it's all set around the final of the World Cup. So it starts with an overture which will have Jerusalem in it that the audience has to sing. And then it introduces, it sets the scene, introduces just the main TMS characters, and then concludes with a musical setting of the super overs from the final.
Lovely. And Sweet Caroline, Neil Diamond, does he feature in there?
He does, but don't tell him.
He'd have to, because Lords is just absolutely ringing to that for that last hour in particular. Oh no, it's absolutely. So how have you recorded this then? Because obviously I heard a man's voice there singing that aria. How have you managed to get people to record this opera for you?
Well, it's the wonder of social media. So we put out a post a few days ago saying were there any bored musicians around, and thankfully yes there were. Aga's figure himself is Sarah's husband, Edward Allen, fabulous. And then the chorus.
He's got a lovely voice, by the way, far better than mine.
He's brilliant. He'll be very proud. He'll be very proud of the baby at the moment. But the rest are a lot of our friends who answered the call, and we sent out a backing track and the music, and they sent us their recordings, and we edited it all together.
Oh, and I see one of the songs called "Boycott's Nightmare," which rather caught my eye, and I'm quite pleased about that. You better tell us about that song and the actual what happens. What is Boycott's Nightmare?
Well, we were faced with the problem that he wasn't actually at the World Cup, so there's a little bit of artistic license, but essentially he kind of it's set with him in bed having a nightmare, and he's just sort of rambling away with all his main sayings, stick of rhubarb, etc., etc., and lots of patriotic Yorkshire-ness. Yeah, very important.
Proper boycott bingo. You went through the whole card, did you?
We did, absolutely, yeah. That's correct.
So, now, what are you going to do? I mean, you've obviously recorded a lot of this virtually, but I mean, are you planning to actually perform it somewhere?
Absolutely. I mean, we're both music teachers, so we're in this great situation where kids have to do what we tell them. So we're going to put it on at school as soon as we're allowed, basically. And I think our vision is that the opera itself is about 30 minutes, so that it would be a way of bringing together lots of aspects of school life. So we'd actually start with a 2020 cricket match, and then have tea, and then everybody into the hall for the performance of the opera. That's the plan.
What a nice idea. That's a really brilliant plan. And just to check, and you don't live on Iona, do you?
No, we're on another holiday.
Right. How do you? I mean, have you ferried from somewhere? Have you? I'm just looking at it on the map. It's a tiny little island.
So we came over from Oban on the Calmac ferry. A couple of nights in Tobermory, Missionish Hotel, fantastic fun, and then over to Iona on another much smaller Calmac ferry. And it's an absolute pleasure to be here, I have to say.
Sell it to me. But what happens on Iona? Why did you choose to go? I'm just looking. I'm zooming in.
It's
got one little village on it by the look of it. Ruinik. Yes.
Fantastic white sands, and I'm just now looking out over a beautiful rowing boat, and I can see Mull in the background with some dramatic mountains, and it's actually not raining, so we're having a wonderful time. I have to say, it is stunning.
Brilliant. And the Scottish Tourist Board will be very, very pleased with you.
Well, there you go.
Thank you, you two. Anna and Sarah, that's fantastic. I mean, any thoughts of a sequel? I mean, I suppose the World Cup finals was a bit of a one-off, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll put it on first. So you never know.
Yeah. All right, ladies, you have a lovely holiday, and thank you so much for finally coming through and talking to us about Full Tosca, TMS the Opera. There they are, having a great time. Iona, it looks a fascinating place, I must say, to get to there. Those Scottish islands, we had to one day get up there and go and visit all around that part of the world. I suppose, Carlos, is that kind of... Do you know where Iona is?
No idea.
How's your Scottish geography? No.
I'd like to go and get some whiskey eventually.
Oh, okay. Right.
So it's on the bucket list. Not the highest.
It looks lovely. Just a beautiful part of the world. So there we go. Look, so there's Glasgow, there's Edinburgh, and there's Iona, which is this tiny little... Those ladies I spoke to are on that little island.
Small island with the historic
abbey. It doesn't say much else that goes on there, but there's just the sounds of the beach and everything else. It sounded absolutely lovely. So, anyway, that's all a bit of fun. I'm glad we got through to them in the end. You just never know with gremlins in the system and also broadcasting from Iona. I suspect it's not the easiest thing.